All right, on today's 30-minute mechanic, we've got a MSD tach adapter. The new ignition doesn't talk to the factory tach in the car, so we got the tach adapter that'll give us a signal, so our tach will work again. So buckle up, let's go. All right, before we get started, this thing does run. I drove it around the parking lot I just made one lap around the parking lot yesterday. Man, that thing's rowdy. The little tighter converter that I got in it now, it's so responsive, man. You just barely whack the throttle and it just spins the tires. So that is fantastic. I'm super happy with how it runs. The thing I'm not happy with is I think the rear main seal is not doing its sealing properly because it's dumping oil out the back. I mean, it didn't really leak much just sitting there running, but then I took a lap around the parking lot and came back and yeah, and parked it in the shop here for just a minute and yep, there was a puddle. So something's leaking back there. I'm pretty sure it's a rear main. 460s have trouble with rear mains. I've read a bunch about them and being oversized. So when you tighten the main cap down, they get squished and then they don't seal right. I had no idea. I've done a bunch of 460 big block cars and this is the first one I've ever had trouble with the rear main in. So we're going to go into that in another episode. That's going to be a project. I'm going to leave the motor in it. We're going to go in underneath and see if we can drop the K member and get the pan off and swap it out and I show you how to properly size your rear main seal. So I got a seal in the pan gasket coming. I don't want to have to pull the motor out because that's a lot of work. So now today we got our MSD. This is a MSD 8920. This is the old tach adapter for magnetic triggers that Foxbody guys have used forever. I've never had to have one on this car because the ignition systems I've always run just ran off the negative side of the coil and went to the tach and everything went cool. These particular style ignitions, these CDIs like the XL DFI Thunder Sport or an MSD 6AL or something, they specifically tell you in the instructions, do not hook anything to the negative side of the coil. So I don't want to do that. I want to do it right with the tach adapter. So that's what we're going to do there. We're going to throw our tach adapter in here. Kind of got things kind of figured out where it needs to go and how it needs to be wired. So hang on, let's dive in. All right, first thing we got to do, whoa, I just about ran, I used my engine hoist for a camera mount and I just about ran into the boom. We got to unhook our tach lead. This is the lead we want to connect our new deal, and I need a cutter, of course. Never prepared. I'm never, ever prepared. I'm getting more prepared as we go right here. Okay. What I might do also, lay a rag over that shiny water pump because it reflects so much less bright light. I got a zip tie right here. I gotta undo, put 30,000 zip ties in, cut 20,000 back out. And this wire goes over here and connects right into the factory tach spot right over here. I'm just going to peel this loom off for now because I don't need it. Don't need it right now. Okay, got the Tach adapter here. I pretty much went rabid raccoon on the package and just shredded into it. It's got connectors and whatnot with it. And instructions. Maybe we should get the instructions out. Ta-da! Instructions. Just leave them right there. Right there where we can see them. I don't know what that is. Looks like some kind of weirdo Scotch lock thing. Not super interested in using that. All right. This has got some really long wires. And I'm not super interested in using them. That it's got double-sided sticky on it right there. Okay, what we're going to do is my instructions over there. We're going to mount this guy right over here. There's a nice little space just right there. And so that's going to become the home for our MSD Tach adapter. Now, which is good because there's power right here. You probably can't see what I'm talking about. So let me move you around. Yeah. Now, like I was saying, I want to mount this guy right. It's going to mount right here, and it should be a good spot. Which is good because we have power right here and our Tach out. And so we have 4 wires here. We got a red, a purple, a red, a white, and a black. Now our white will go, white right here is to the Tach output. Good gravy. Man, they give you a lot of wire. White is to the Tach output. Oh my gosh. Okay, one of these days, I'm going to get this wire separated out here. Maybe I should just put, oh my word. Okay. Now white goes to the Tach output of my spark box. How long did it take me to say that? Purple goes to my trigger wire. Purple goes to this yellow one for my old, goes to the trigger wire for my Tach. And black is a ground and red goes to power. Okay, that's pretty simple. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a connector, one of these kind of connectors. Actually, before we do that, let's get it mounted so then that way our wiring can go exactly where it needs to go. So let me get situated here so I can get this thing wired up right. All right, now this little dude came with some self-sticky stuff on the back. What I think I'm going to do first, though, is I'm going to put a self-tapping. Maybe I should just mark where that needs to go with a Sharpie and then do it. And then that'll make things a little easier. Wait a minute. I got a Sharpie in my apron. Oh, okay. I almost ran into that engine hoist. So I just moved it out of the way. Okay, our Tach adapter, I think it's probably going to need to go right about there. So one screw hole can be right there. And the other one I think is going to be like right there somewheres. I think that'll probably work. You can probably just put 2 screws in it. There's 4 spots, but I don't really think I need 4. I don't really think I need 4 screws holding this thing down. It's not that, I may not be able to get to that one. Let's see if we can get this one started. I have to use a drill bit. Okay, we got a Tach adapter mounted, just stuck over here with double-sided sticky and the 2 screws. So now what we're going to do is we're going to route this, figure out the routing for this white wire, which is probably just going to go underneath here and swing around, and we'll see how long it needs to be. To get where we need to go here. So that'll need to be on the other side of that. But we can probably go ahead and just take it off. Right back here. I gotta get my soldering iron out, don't I? Sure do. Let's take care of that. Oh, really? Dropping stuff. All right, now we're going to make a single, just a single connector here for our, one thing I don't have is a pair of needle nose. Okay, now we've done this before. You've seen me do this. But what we're going to do first is put our readers on. And then we're going to put our little seal on there and slide it back. We're going to poke this dude right in here. I'm going to hold it and mash said it was. Mash the little tabs over to hold it. Maybe. Okay. Then I'm going to solder that dude in place because I don't want it to come out. If I can get it to stay put somewhere. There we go. Seems like a good spot. Just a little solder heated up here. Come on. There you go. Take it right in there. Okay. That one's soldered. Cool it off. So it's like 1,000 degrees. And I'm going to wiggle the little seal in. Could probably could do that with before I soldered it, but cool enough to touch now. Gonna wiggle that in there. And you just bend these dudes over to hold on to it. And then it looks like that. Then you just take your little end here and flip the latch up, maybe. Flip the latch up, stick it in, maybe. Come on. There it goes. Doink. It's in and down. Done. And probably none of that was on camera because I was over here. But we made us the thing, and then it plugs in right here. Maybe. Why not? Or not. Yeah, what's going on? What is happening? I mean, really? Let's take it apart and see what the problem is. Yeah, I took it apart. It's kind of got a little piece right there on the very tip that's interfering with everything. There. Now it's all nice and pointy. Let's see if we can make it go back together now. I need to spread my wings out here a little bit. It'll sneak in there and stay. Okay, that's in there, that's there. Let's see if it'll plug in now. Oh, perfect. Yep, that was the problem. Okay, it's got our trigger wire from the ignition box to the Tach adapter. Now we can swing around and look at some other connections we need to make. All right, got a black here. Black is ground, so we're just going to kind of throw it out of the way for the time being. The pink, red. I guess they call it red. It looks pink. Red is your power, and that is this white wire right here that's coming out. That's a keyed 12-volt source. So we are just going to strip this dude right there. And this literally just has to go right there. So we're just going to cut it. Let's cut it. Cut it and strip it. Take all that extra wire and do something with it. And some guys don't ever cut. They just wad the wire up. They won't cut it off. But I mean, that Tach adapter, that's where she's going to live from now on. Not going to move it. And this is something non-super critical. I mean, it's just a tachometer. I mean, it doesn't make the car run or anything, so. I'm just going to put a handy-dandy little butt connector right there. Crush it on there. And then that gets connected to here. And if I could see it, it would make my life so much better. And this wire that I'm connecting to is the original Mustang keyed power to the Duraspark box. So it's hot with the key. And right behind it, I don't know if you probably can't see down in there. Well, maybe a little bit. Dipstick's kind of in the way. Is the red with a light blue wire that I had to connect back together so this thing would actually start with the key, because I had a little trouble with it starting with the key. Okay, now our next trick, for my next trick, what I'd like to do is mash this butt connector and just get it off. Maybe I can squish it the opposite direction. Yay. Okay. Managed to mash it and release it. Because our purple, or violet, whatever you want to call it, goes to this green wire back here, and that goes to our Tach, our factory Tach, and to our shift light that we have in there. So before we do that, let's put us another. I mean, again, we're just using butt connectors here. Not a big deal. See if I can kind of wrap that with my fingers. Slip that dude. Twisty twist. Stuck in there good and squeeze it down. Maybe without it popping out. Okay. Seems like that's a good spot there. We're going to cut this one about the same length as we did power wire. Get out of the way. A little strippage here. Strippage, twistage, tuckage, inage. There's that. Then we crimp the snot out of that one too. Okay. Now we're gonna do. Now we gotta find a ground spot. Where are we gonna ground this? I think I might just ground it right here, right by my line lock. There's a screw there that should probably suffice. Just clip it off and we'll put us a ring connector or something on there. And then we'll be wired up. We'll be wired up, ready to fire up and see if we have a Tach. Let's find us a connector. Where's my connector box? All right, I'm back without my glasses. There we go. And that dude's in there. Squash on that. Find a screwdriver. Come on. And that dude, ground it right there. All right, then I'll come back and kind of organize this stuff a little bit afterwards. But for right now, let's reconnect our battery, move a few things, and then see if we have a Tach. Ooh, I better move that soldering iron because it's like 100,000 degrees. Okay, now if everything is right, we should have a Tach signal in here. Turn a fuel pump. I may have to set you down to do this part. I need two hands sometimes. Oh my gosh. Oh my word. Okay, just park right there for a second. Hey, works perfect. Works exactly like it should. Great success. All right, now about all we got to do is clean up I'm going to put that loom back on this wire, run it over there, and then I'll probably zip tie those things kind of up and probably tape some of that stuff up, or maybe loom it over there where the Tach adapter is. But great success. We got our Tach. Our Tach works now. Too bad the rear main in this thing leaks like it has a hole in it, but whatever. All right. So we got this. I'm just going to put this one wire in this loom, and you know, like I said, it's really just for camouflage more than anything. Man, that went really well. Very happy. Now I can use my stock Tach and my shift light like I've always done in this thing. And all right, now that can pull this way. You find a zip tie, I'll zip tie that, and then I'll tuck it back in there. And I don't know where the zip ties are. Never prepared. Never prepared. And with my light blue zip ties that I've used everywhere in here. Not really sure that I like them, but they were economical. We'll put it that way. Good thing, I want it to go under. It can go under. It really needs to go under there. Click. Okay, that thing slipped off. Okay. That tucks down in there. And then I had a zip tie right back here. Put those dudes all together. That's where that was previously. Snip that off. I can wiggle around here. And that's just going to go underneath everything. Just like so. I don't really like that so much. What's going on here? Got an old Ford connector over here that really has seen better days. Just gonna tie these. An idea here. Oof. I considered putting a connector on where I could just unplug this dude, but then I thought, well, I don't really figure I'll ever be taking it out or ever need to take it out. Now, what I might do here is there a way I can just put a zip tie around that group? And just keep them all nice and compact together. Like one big happy wiring family there. Family of wires. There. Much better. Done with that. It's old Ford stuff. I'm just going to give it a few wraps of tape. There's one rogue green wire here that keeps trying to get into everything. I don't know what it goes to. My cutters. There. Now that's done, and we'll just tuck it back down low. Now that's good right there. Not gonna mess with it anymore. And look, free extra wires. Oh, I hit my head. Oh, I mean, oh, can't go a day without hitting my head, I think. All right, that's going to do it for 30-Minute Mechanic today. We got our MSD Tach adapter mounted in the car, wired up, and it works. So check one thing off my list of everything that needs to be done. The next chapter in this car, we're going to have to stick it back up in the air, trying to figure out where the oil's coming from. I think it's the rear main seal. I mean, I wouldn't put it past myself to put it in backwards. You know, maybe I put it in and I didn't have my readers on. So I don't think I did, but I might have. But Ford seals have a history of not fitting right. And I'm going to go through showing you how to make them fit right, because I learned that today. Always keep learning. Check out the description. Check out my friends' YouTube channels. Give them a like, subscribe, and see what those guys are up to. But for now, like, subscribe, ring the bell, tell your friends. We'll see you next time. Bye.